Hello champions and future champions, hello Chessmood family, Gabuzyan is here with you, and we're beginning our daily lesson. Today we're going to continue the topic of stopping the pawn push of opponent. In last two daily lessons we're covering this topic, and in one of them we're seeing how knight is fulfilling this mission, and in the other one it was bishop's turn. In this position I offer you to pause the video and think how to play as white. By the way, if you haven't seen previous daily lessons, I recommend you to do so and only then to watch this one. Here we have opposite side castles. This means we are trying to push here on the queen side, black is trying to push on our king. If it's black to move in this position, black here is going f4. And the thing is, with these 3 pawns versus 2, black will easily destroy our king's pawn coverage, and this king will be in a huge danger. We need to prevent this from happening, and that's why the beginning move is rook f4, and today we're going to see examples how rook is stopping opponent's pawn push. Now, suddenly black's game on the king side is stuck. If black tries to remove our rook from f4 square and is playing queen h6, we are protecting the rook with queen d2. And the thing is, with the pawns on g4 and h4 versus on h2 and h2, black cannot be opening up the flank. If black goes g3, we're playing h3. Or if black is playing the opposite way with the h3 pawn, we're going pawn to g3, again locking the flank and then switching to the queen side where opponent's king is located. By the way, in the daily lesson 255, we are talking about closing the flank. That's what you are seeing when opponent goes h3, we play g3, or when black was playing g3, we're going h3. That was a very powerful defensive technique, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend you to watch it as well. Now, let's go ahead and see another example. In this position, it's black to move. Before going for explanations, I will offer you to pause the video and think how to play here as black. First of all, let's understand what white is threatening if it's white to move here. White now is dreaming about f4 move, connecting pawns to each other, creating a pawn chain which is ready to be advanced. Sometimes white will be creating a passed pawn, sometimes weakening the pawn on d5. White is getting more space and some good maneuver options. All of this will be great for white, at the same time terrible for us. And at the beginning, we have a very nice option. Now black is going rook to f4, preventing f4 pawn push. On top of this, rook on f4 is all the time attacking g4 and d4 pawns. We can bring our necked rook to f8, queen can go to f7, or maybe to e7 and g5, our bishop will have a very nice transfer to b6 square, where it will be attacking pawn on d4. With the rook f4 move, which seems to be a very logical one, we are instantly destroying all of opponent's ideas and getting very strong square for our piece. It's another big value of stopping opponent's pawn pushes. Now, we are getting this output because the pawn on f2 is blocked. Let's go ahead and see the last example for today's daily lesson. Again, we are seeing opposite side castles. We are trying to push on the queen side, and white has a huge concentration of the pieces on the opposite side. How to play here as black is my question. You can pause the video and think about this. Once again, let's understand the following. If it's white to move, white is going to push pawn h4, followed by pawn h5, and pawn coverage of our king will be destroyed. We need to prevent this, and that's why at the beginning black is going king to g7. When we're having fianchetto pawn structure and the next line is open, it's a very common technique, putting king on the 7th rank and allowing our rooks to use the open line. In this position, if white goes h4, we can play rook h8. We are not worried of h5 pawn sacrifice. We can take it. Our king is keeping safe pawn structure, and after rook h1, we can be playing rook to h8, keeping the h file as well and the extra pawn. After rook h8, if white is going rook to h1, still threatening h5 move, you know what we are going to do. We are going to prevent this and locating our rook on h5 square, stopping opponent's pawn push. First of all, in this concrete case, pawn on h4 is a weakness as well. We can try to bring the next rook and take this. On top of this, we're good to begin our own attack on the queen side now. In order to summarize this daily lesson, guys, let's talk about the previous examples. In different cases, we were blocking opponent's play with our rooks, in some occasions stopping the attack and beginning ours, in some occasions stopping opponent from getting a good pawn structure. Let me one more time to remind you that we already had 2 previous daily lessons in a very similar topic, preventing opponent's pawn push with other pieces as well. Now let's go ahead to the next position, which will be your homework. Here it's white to move, and I will offer to share your thoughts and ideas how to play here as white in the comment section below. Gabuzyan was here with you. Thank you for your subscriptions, likes, and sharing this video with your friends. We appreciate it a lot. See you next time during our next daily lessons.